Wow, Steve, nice to see you again. Thanks for taking the time to talk.
Good to see you.
Can I get you to introduce yourself to the folks back home?
Sure, my name is Steve Marx. I'm a technical strategist on the Windows Azure team, and I'm here at PDC to do a couple sessions and hang out and talk to customers.
How do you think we're positioned against competition? People like Google Apps, Amazon, people ask these questions. I just want to get your perspective on that.
Yeah, so the competition in this space is really interesting because you have different companies coming from different angles and trying to deliver different things. And for some kinds of applications, we're great. For some kind of applications, they're great. It's hard to think generically about kind of what's happening. I think that what's interesting about what Windows Azure and what's sort of our sweet spot and the things that we deliver is, it's Microsoft. We work on premises with Windows Server, SQL Server. We work in the cloud. We work on technologies that connect those, and we work on developer platforms. And so we're sort of uniquely in a spot, I think, which I like to be in the market, where we cover the full range of what customers are trying to do. We represent a really easy way for people to get to the cloud and to evolve their business beyond that. And we own all the technologies that we need to. We work in all sort of facets of it to bring that all together and make it really a good story for developers.
I mean, I'm obviously quite sold on the platform, but one of the questions we get asked a lot about is around interop and how we play with other technologies and how it allow other people access to the platform. Can you talk a little bit about what the interop situation is?
Yeah, let's. So we've come a long way. We brought out our first CTP last year at PDC in October in 2008, and there we were a .NET story. So if you were a .NET developer and you could work in a medium trust environment, you could run in Windows Azure. You had a great development experience with Visual Studio, great experience running in the cloud, but it was restricted to that area of the market. And so if those were your tools, you were in really good shape. Around our Mix conference in 2009, so in the spring of this past year, we introduced support for fast CGI, which meant you could run things like PHP. And so we started to sort of open up that model and bring in third-party tools and things that aren't necessarily what you'd think of sort of Microsoft base of sort of developer platforms, but which a lot of people use. We've opened the box wide open at this PDC, and so at this PDC we have full support for native code, but we also have support for using web servers other than IIS. So I'm doing a talk where I'm doing all of my demos and all my code are written in Java, running on Apache Tomcat. And so, so it's Windows. That's sort of it's Microsoft. We're Windows. I mean, that's sort of where our strength is on the platform. But just like Windows, we're open to the whole suite of tools and whatever languages and tools people want to bring to the platform. We're happy to have it. And we've done some specific things where we've partnered with people to get some things built to make it easier to work with technologies like Java and PHP and MySQL and Memcached. And we're showing all those things at PDC this year.
So the other question I get asked a lot, and one that we need to kind of get to a point where we answer, is around VM virtual machines with Azure. Where are we with that?
So we've announced here at PDC in the day one keynote that we are going to do a virtual machine role, you can think of it as, in Windows Azure. And very simply what that means is that you're going to get to start with sort of a virtual machine image that looks like what you use in Windows Azure today. You're going to get the opportunity to customize and configure that VM the way that you want. And then you're going to get to integrate that into your application. So you say, when my web role runs, I want that VM. I want that customization, that configuration of my environment, so that I don't have to do that setup every single time. Right? You could do this yourself, but you'd have to repeat the process over and over again. This is a way for you to sort of save those changes that you made and make them available to your roles in Windows Azure. And so we've announced that here, and you'll see more coming in the future, sort of as we deliver that feature.
That is fantastic. Steve, thank you very much for taking the time to talk to us.
Absolutely. Thanks.
Thank you.